welcome to the Neon City Daily Podcast. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
And we got a lot to talk about today, fellas.
Yeah.
He sounded like he needed about 6 more cups of coffee to hit that up to just really like morning radio presenter that in.
I don't know. I think it sounded like Mark Hamill doing Joker while constipated.
I'll take that. That's a lovely
I mean,
comment.
that's a link. It's a link to fame.
Yeah.
That's all we need, really.
Yeah, you're nearly there.
Well, I'm a dump away from sounding like Mark Hamill.
Oh no! Here I was
If
hoping
it's
you'd
one
do
of
it the
Josh's
whole
dumps,
episode.
then it's yeah.
No, that's just the introduction, guys. It reels them in.
Maybe I'll edit it in post and make you sound even better.
Oh, you're gonna have like some cool radio music and have my voice
Gonna
echo.
put Zowie Babowie.
Oh
in the
yeah, some
background. Just-
huge bow bow.
Yeah, add some air horns.
Or maybe go old school and some Seinfeld music, Friends transition stuff.
like the little beatbox that Seinfeld has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome to Neon City Daily. Boom, boom, boom. Cool.
So what are we gonna? Have you been playing video games, Jamie? Is that
Yeah,
what,
Nick.
Are we gonna do that this week? Are we gonna start with the
Yeah.
games?
I think we'll go around and talk about the games that we've been playing.
I think Josh has to go last this week from the sound of that.
Yeah, he's been playing exciting games. I'll start. I've been playing some Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, nice.
And that's I played that very early on when it first came out, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And it's still the same game now, but they've just added a bunch of different stuff, new items, new characters. I haven't unlocked many of them yet, so I'm still kind of getting around to that. But yeah, it's still a good game.
Yeah.
Yay! I also tried to play some Halo multiplayer on Reach.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right.
And I don't know, guys.
I keep forgetting about.
I think that they really need to incorporate a server browser into that game because I
Is it
couldn't
all
find
matchmaking?
anything. It's all matchmaking. I couldn't find anything.
That
Was the
that
original
the
Reach-
worry, wasn't it?
Was
Well, the original Reach was just
server browser?
console. It was just console born. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
like it hit that, and everything was just built around it, like quick matching or matchmaking, because that's just. What
And
they
it's not
seem to do.
cross-play, is it? The new
No,
Reach?
it's got cross-play between the Steam version and the Microsoft Store version.
Uh-huh.
Well, that
which
doesn't
is
count.
Fucking garbage.
Literally
really.
every
Let's
game
yeah,
Kind of has
it's-
that, really, to be honest.
Yeah, you can't even tap that as a feature. It's just that you can play with someone on the same system. That's it.
Yeah,
Don't
so
pretend
that's
that's a feature.
very misleading how they were kind of going like, oh yeah, it's going to be crossplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a thing that came out not that long ago that it was a multiplayer centric version of Halo. So there was no like story mode or anything like that. I think it was
yeah.
Halo 3.
Yeah, it was
And-
Halo 3. It was like a Russian thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
got cancelled, but they leaked it, and some people kind of like backwards engineered it so that people could play it again. That had a server browser,
Yeah.
and that was great. I bet if I went to that now, it'd be more active than freaking the Halo
Yeah, it
Reach
probably is.
one.
It probably is, man. It's yeah.
I mean, I know that Halo 2 just came out on PC, and so maybe people are playing that instead. But I can't explain it. I cannot explain just like no one else playing Reach unless there's something that I'm missing.
I
It's
feel
just
like
weird.
I feel like either the kind of people that would be playing the multiplayer for Halo, they're either the kind of people that have gone, yeah, I'm going to get Halo 3's one, and they're really into that, or they're the people that are playing like the newest new version, so like the multiplayer with 5, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean,
So-
on PC, there's only Reach 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2 was
right.
what, 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't know.
I
Just,
don't know, man. I don't know.
Very
what to
weird.
tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit disappointing. I'll try again afterwards tonight, but like, yeah, I just want to play some Halo, and I keep getting dashed. I already talked in the
Yeah,
After Dark
you keep
podcast about
having
how I had
issues.
to deal with actually buying a copy of it on Steam because the Microsoft version just wouldn't download for me. And now I'm actually trying to play it, and there's nothing there. Like, thumbs down, guys. Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Would not Yelp again. Whatever.
Would not recommend.
Ugh.
What about you, Nick? You been playing anything?
Man, I've been playing a lot of Ace Combat 7. Because
Yeah, you remember?
it's Ace Combat 7.
I keep forgetting to download that.
God, it's good. It's like this mix of being enough arcadey to be fun while also being really involved.
Yeah.
But I am unfortunately out of mission where it's the hard as balls. So I'm actually... I haven't played it for like a day because I've been staring at it just going, do I want to do this? Do I just want to be mad? I can't decide. Unfortunately, I'm really flippant with it because it's not like I bought it. It was on Game Pass. I just downloaded it. So
yeah.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this mission's just really hard and I can't seem to do it and I can't see a way around it. Maybe I'll just uninstall it. But
Has it got multiplayer?
I don't know. I'd assume so. I guess. I
Yeah.
don't even know. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure on the menu it's got some multiplayer options there.
Yeah.
I've never looked at them because I was just like, if there is any game where I'm going to get eaten by just nerds for the game, it's probably going to be this.
They've all got
But
their,
yeah, I don't know.
their
I just
fight
kind of...
sticks.
It's just hard, man. It's just... I've gotten to a point where it's hard. The game's really, really good. It's really
it looks
good.
pretty too.
But I am currently... Like, the mission itself is a escort mission. And it goes terribly and something goes wrong. And then it's like, oh, there's this really specific circumstance that you've got to avoid. And you're like, that isn't even in my control. So
I
I've
can't
got
believe
the
that
feeling
an
if I
escort
get
mission
past
goes
it,
wrong.
It's just going to be hope.
You could watch Top Gun for inspiration and some tips.
So the problem is I actually
That's
like
where I
Top
go
Gun.
for tits. Top
So,
Gun.
I like Top Gun, but I don't know if it's going to help me with this scenario currently.
Well, you could crank out some Kenny Loggins and
Yeah, just
you know
bust it
several
out.
aspects of
Just chuck
Top
the
Gun that might
aviators
help
on.
you.
Aviators.
Play
chuck
volleyball
like a little
topless.
Cafe racer motorcycle out the
Oiled
front.
up.
With all my buddies. But yeah,
I don't understand
Ace
any of
Combat
these
7's really
references.
good. Oh, really? I thought you watched Top Gun with
Dude,
us.
Top Gun.
Nah.
There's a
Really?
scene where all these jacked fighter pilots play volleyball together, topless. Some reason they're oiled. It's obviously
Yeah.
not sweat. It's
It's
very
oil.
clearly oil.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
there's
Kenny
some
Loggins
slippery
is playing,
boys.
and the song is called "Playing with the Boys."
Is this where your love for Tom Cruise fully blossomed?
Absolutely. It goes from that straight into the
Oh.
movie's love scene, and it's just
Yeah, yeah.
Between who? Tom Cruise and
Tom
Val
Cruise.
Kilmer.
and Tom Cruise? Yeah, Val Kilmer.
Tom Cruise and Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Man, Val Kilmer has not aged anywhere near as gracefully as Tom Cruise, and apparently he's in the new Top Gun, so that'll be interesting.
Oh,
I
is he?
don't think he'll be playing volleyball topless.
Doesn't he die?
No, Goose dies.
Oh, he's not Goose?
No, he's Iceman.
Oh.
I actually thought, because I remember being at Josh's house one day, and I remember there being this weird night where Josh was just like, we're all watching Top Gun.
I wasn't there.
Sounds like
And
me.
I hadn't seen it. Like, I'd never seen it before, so I was genuinely just like, sure, I'll watch it, whatever, that's fine. I swear Jamie was there. I thought he was.
I was
but
not.
I guess it was just two other people that we know, and they were vehemently against it. But Josh had set the course though that we were
Can't imagine
watching
who
Top
they would
Gun.
be.
I honestly, I wish I was there for the Top Gun one and not there for the Man of Steel one.
Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
You fell asleep. It was
know
like
I
you
did.
weren't there.
Yeah. I was
And
the
let's
same
remember
kind of
that
coherent
you've made
plot,
us watch
not
The
there.
Room, and Nick has made us watch Scorpion King
I did
14.
not manage to get you through Scorpion King, whatever it was, because you bailed. You fell out. You couldn't
I'm
do
sorry,
it.
but there is bad that's enjoyable, like The
We
Room.
sat
Then
through,
there
like,
is
Need
just
for Speed,
bad,
man.
bad. Iron Sky's another one. I don't care what you say. That is
Hey, Iron Sky
horrific.
was so good.
Oh no!
Iron Sky was crazy good.
See,
That
if I
looked
give you like a really
amazing.
shitty movie to watch, you can know it's going to be a really good quality shitty
Problem
movie.
is, I can almost
we tried to
guarantee
watch-
that Jamie would watch Iron Sky.
Probably.
I can't.
Sounds like
Oh
a
man,
good one.
I can't watch Rush Hour anymore without Jamie's voice in my head going, "Racky ran."
That's Rush Hour 3, and we should clarify. After a night of very heavy drinking, we tried to watch Rush Hour 3, and I was not
Dude.
coherent enough to actually understand what was happening.
You were upside down on the couch.
Yeah, I was upside down.
Commentating, saying Raki ran every
I wasn't
time he was
just
on the
saying
screen.
Raki ran. There was Jackie Chan, and there was another distinguished kung fu actor who was like Jackie Chan's equal. So like, you know, they're kind of fighting on each other's terms. And I'm like, oh, it's Jackie Chan, and he's fighting Raki Ran.
See,
Dude,
I missed
I remember
that one. Like, missed-
someone went to give you a lift home that night, and I was like locking up the house and everything, and I was like done for the night. Mrs. and I were about to go to bed, and then there's a knock on the door, and it's just Jamie looking sheepish. He couldn't make it home in the car. He made it like 5 minutes down the street, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna puke in your car if you keep driving."
Well, actually, it's worse than that. Like, we were 5 minutes down the street, and I'm like, you know what? Stop the car. So I got out of the car, and I kind of like dry reached a little bit, like, nah, I'm okay, it's fine. And then the guy taking me, unsurprisingly, who loves his car more than anything and anyone in the world, was like, nope, not taking you. If there's a chance that you feel even slightly bad, I'm not going to stop at the side of the road and let you puke. I'm too afraid. And
Yeah.
he turned back around and dropped me back at your place.
What a shitty human being. Let's
yeah.
just be real.
That's not a bro moment.
No.
Do you remember the first time you met Jess's mum?
Oh, no.
I remember what happened after I met Jess's mum.
When
I went
hear
home.
someone ask what if they remember the first time they met their wife's mother, that troubles me immediately.
Oh, all right,
and
so
I'm immediately glad I wasn't there.
we had these weird shots. Some lady gave us shots that I don't know. They were green, and
They were ABC, I think.
And then we
wow.
went to Jess's parents' house. It's all a blur. I know I
mum's
said
house,
hello. We talked a little bit. Don't remember much at all.
Dude, you were like a dog out the window on the way back to your
Yeah,
place.
I was, because I was like, I'm not feeling good at all. And-
He literally Ace Ventura'd it all the way home.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say you tried to like pick up Jess's mum or something.
No. I was a gentleman.
No.
But then I got home, and I was still living with my parents at that point, and I walked through the door, looked, and Dad was there on the couch. He's like, "Hey, son." I'm like, "Hey, Dad," and I immediately walked into the bathroom and just threw up, and then came back out, and like Dad and I just made eye contact, and I'm just so like, "Hey, Dad."
Like, didn't you almost vomit during the... Was it you or one of your brothers? I thought it was hilarious when you told me where one of you puked after a drunken night, and your dad's main concern when he came in was the carpet.
No, that was me when I was 8.
That was Nick.
Oh, wow.
That was I went to Jamie's to stay the night, and we had dinner, and I think maybe like 10, 15 minutes later, I was like, I don't feel well.
Oh, you weren't
And
even
just-
drunk.
No,
I was
he
8.
was- Yeah, he was a little boy.
Oh,
We
wow,
were little
okay.
children.
This story is a lot more innocent than I originally thought.
And just suddenly there was vomit. There was everywhere, and
Wow, you
Yeah.
puked a lot as well.
a lot.
Wow.
Like
A
it
lot.
was, I couldn't believe it. And it was bright pink
You
somehow.
can't believe it. I like you brought it up again semi recently. It could have been a while ago, but
It would be
and
years
I
ago.
still remember like sitting in your house and just going. So I went from there through here, out there, and into that toilet. So I just puked like a fucking machine.
You puked a,
Like-
you puked a stream from my bedroom
Yeah.
into the spare room, down the hallway, into the laundry, and then you got to the toilet and you were done. And
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
you broke my mum's watch somehow.
Yeah,
Like that
somehow.
stopped.
Yeah.
Like,
and-
because of the acidic nature of your
I
vomit? or-
guess.
And
I guess.
Dad was really upset because we just got that carpet in.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
Oh, man, there's nothing worse. Like, I'd rather sometimes be the one puking. Like, Jess puked about a year ago, and she did not make it anywhere near to the toilet. And she was basically done.
Yeah.
I was cleaning up chunks on the way.
Yeah.
I haven't been physically sick in ages. I can't remember the last time I was.
Yeah, no,
I tend to not really be that sick now unless I have been drinking. Like, that's usually the only time that I am. that
Kids are
sick
the
at this
worst for
point.
it, though. If you're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
get sick, it's because your kids start school.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, kids are germ factories.
Thankfully, with Eli, we haven't actually copped anything really nasty from... He was about 6 months old, I remember, when we got gastro, but that's about it.
That gave you
my
like a
kids are
primal
back
fear of
fucking-
fatherhood for like a year or something.
Oh, man, real talk, that was like the beginning of the end of my mental health for a while. because it reignited a fear of vomiting, like from a memory that was suppressed from my childhood.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't stop vomiting and my parents had to take me to the hospital.
Wow.
So yeah, I freaked out. It took me a long time to get over the fear of vomiting.
Yeah.
Which there's a name for, but I can't remember it.
It's probably like pucophobia or something.
Yeah,
probably.
Well,
and I find it very, very funny when other people puke. It's twisted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, fucking better you than me, bitch.
Like, I'm not ashamed to say I've seen psychologists about this issue because it was so, like...
About the joy you get from seeing another man vomit?
I was going to say, joy or the terror?
From my fear of vomiting. And then, because then you become a germaphobe and my hands were all cracked from washing them all the time. And
right.
I didn't want to touch my kid because, the carriers of germs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, I sought help. And obviously one of the methods that they use is desensitization or exposure therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Yourself in turds all day.
Where they basically, you watch someone vomit or something like that. It's an old school process in psychology. But
Yeah.
But yeah, he raised the idea because I'm like, man, what part of me at the time just wants to go to the chemist and get Ipecac and just like vomit everywhere and get it over and done with. So then my brain can realize it's not all that, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
I like the idea of the therapist going like, all right, it's exposure therapy, and then just spits on you.
No, well, so he said, before you do that,
vomits everywhere.
So before you do that, you could just go to YouTube and watch people vomit. And I'm like, oh, I know, I do that for fun. Like that's absolutely hilarious to me.
That's
and
just what you do.
He looked at me like, oh, he's like, cancel all my appointments for the afternoon.
Yeah, like, I already do that. It's fun to watch it happen, and he's just like, interesting, just writing on his clipboard very furiously.
We're gonna need backup.
Isn't it like if you go see a psychiatrist and you say something and they say interesting, are you automatically on high alert?
Oh, you'd have to be. You'd have to be, wouldn't you? That's like warning
Absolutely.
signs 101 is just is that the person that's supposed to assess what you've done hasn't had an answer for what you've done. That's it. Yeah, so we've gone through what Jamie's played and we've talked a bit about what I've been playing, then we've got onto the vomit. But what have you been playing, Josh?
We've had our normal
Speaking of vomiting.
Been playing Outlast. Which people seem to enjoy.
Damn straight they do.
So we're streaming that, and other than that, I've tried to play some games. It feels like every week we talk about what we're playing. I say no. I've been setting up the man room. Haven't been playing anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same this week. I got more RGB.
How many more RGB?
It's a problem. I need to go back to the psychologist. So I haven't
need to watch
played.
People get RGB. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you guys will probably be proud of me that I played LOL for the first time in about a week.
Wow.
With Sam and Dave.
Yeah.
And I guess I was just rusty, so we jumped straight into ranked, and I just raged.
Nice.
Like I was so tilted. It was and salty. I was just like, and we played 2-3 games. Because I finished one. I'm like, oh,
that's the kind of stuff I should get in on with you. Like that's that's where I want to be.
And so I haven't touched it since because I'm like,
wow.
I genuinely don't have that desire at the moment.
Yeah.
To play the game. It's like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've played thousands of games and have lost half of them, but never. I don't know. Like I just jumped into it and I'm like, it's just not doing it for me.
It's just not
just
fun
making
anymore.
me angry. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the turning point, but there are just other games that I want to play instead of LoL. Whereas LoL used to be the game I would just play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd sit there and look at my Steam list and go, oh, look at all these games I haven't played.
That was the same with me. I just had like a tipping point where I went, I'm so angry. I don't want to play this. And I just never went back.
Yeah, I'd like us to all play Heroes of the Storm. I know it's still a MOBA.
Yeah.
I know it's still a MOBA. And Nick is going to keep playing League of Legends because I made a banner for it and put it on Facebook. So
You made a banner.
it's official now.
This is the problem now. I get messages from people outside of Neon City Daily shit now asking about that. So,
Really?
yes, I do.
Excellent.
Outside of Neon City Daily.
Yeah, like not
So,
through, not like comments on the
They're not commenting or
on
anything,
the Facebook or anything like that. I genuinely have people asking me when I'm playing League of Legends again because Josh made a banner.
Wow.
It's
the power of the banner, and I'm not
unfortunate.
afraid to wield it. So anyway, that'll
Yeah,
be
as it turns out. But yeah.
as we discussed last week, which hasn't actually been posted yet. But if you listen to that before this, you'll hear that Nick is
You'll
Nick raised the
know.
idea of him playing LoL a bit more consistently, and I've just run with it. So, yeah, I made a banner, and it's official because it's on Facebook and it's pretty. And you know, if I have to play Outlast, as long as I am playing horror games, you will be playing LoL.
I will admit that when it really came down to it, I assumed that was almost going to be where
Yeah,
it
I think
went.
I've only just thought of that, but I think that's fair.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that out loud. I didn't want to give you that
Yeah.
plan, but you brought it up first, so I
Dave and Jamie can play games they enjoy, like weirdos, and we can just suffer in, well, probably not in silence.
it's not going to be in silence, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Have you heard me? Like,
Have you heard me?
Yeah.
I literally went to the toilet after last night's stream and just
And you
exploded.
never came back.
No,
You said you would, and you
it's
didn't.
tiring.
Oh man, that was good fun though. I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, glad you guys did. But yeah, other than that, I've been meaning to play a few games. Oh, I've set up my steering wheel and VR finally.
Oh,
So I've been
nice.
hitting Project Cars 2.
oh, sweet.
Very cool.
So bad at it, but it is so much fun in VR.
Yeah.
You know,
Cockpit games are just incredible in VR.
that's it. Like, to literally have to turn my head to look in the rearview mirror or behind me or next to me or something is just...
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but it's so immersive.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm bad at it, but I'm going to try and practice a bit more, get the wheel going.
Yep.
Get the little one onto it. He can't reach the pedals, so I have to, like, do the pedals for him. But yeah,
Sit them on a
other than
stack
that,
of books. Yep.
yeah, I want to play more games. I want, now that the man cave is done for now, and I'm not in the mood for LOL,
Yeah.
and I've done my Outlast for at least a week or two.
Yeah. It's a perfect time to spread your wings, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe some AoE on moderate, because I hear you guys didn't actually... We played it the other night
No, I
together.
think-
but
yeah,
once I
AoE
had to
too.
leave, you guys didn't go again.
No,
No, I
we
think
did one
we-
more, but we did on
just did a
standard.
standard, I think. We
Yeah, it
fought a
wasn't
standard
moderate.
enemy in AoE too.
Girls' blouses.
We can do one after this podcast if
We
you
could,
like.
actually.
Yeah, I think. Well, for you guys, I think it's necessary just to butch up a bit.
Oh, you and your strat game difficulties, Josh. I don't.
I just don't see the point, because it's a time investment. It's such a massive time investment that if I'm going to invest half an hour before anything happens, like the enemy decides to, it's just, I want to make it a challenge.
Part of the fun for me with Age of Empires is just building my actual empire. Not even going like, oh, I'm going to build this so I can go and fight. I want to build all these houses, and I want to build a field. And I
I'm
want
just,
to
yeah,
Yeah,
I want
it
to
triggers me the
clear-cut
way
all
that
the
you
trees.
both build, because there's just no symmetry, there's no city planning.
All right,
just-
Council of Melbourne.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, animals.
We know you live in a developing area, Josh, but you don't have to plan. It's okay.
Why don't you
Okay.
guys build in a grid?
Exactly. Well, like
I'm
Canberra.
making Sydney,
Canberra's
bitch.
just a big circle.
You would
Canberra
hate
doesn't
Sydney.
exist.
Have you spent time in Sydney at all?
Only when I was young. I love
Okay.
Melbourne.
I've
I go to
been-
Melbourne all the time.
I've been in Sydney once for like a week, and I dared look at Google Maps while we were driving around the city, and I wish I didn't. It was a colouring in book mess of just like, those adult colouring in books that are all detailed and curved and into each.
Yeah.
It was that,
With,
only
like-
it was a road system. So
Oh, right.
yeah, I'm not.
Can you
keen.
imagine then something like, I don't know, any city, a city in India or something, where it's just, there doesn't seem to be rules. There's
with,
10
like-
times
You
as
mean like
many
Sydney?
Like one of
people.
those outlying Egyptian cities and stuff like that.
Oh,
just-
look, even the main cities, like, you see them in, like, Thailand and India, where it's just bustling and busy, and like it looks, when you look at it as an outsider looking in, it looks so random.
Terrifying.
But even like when I'm talking like about traffic now and things like that, there is a system there. Like the locals have, I don't know, it's
They've
like,
built their own.
it's bizarre, but it just seems to flow somehow without everybody dying.
I don't trust it.
Well, they're used to it at that point. You know, it's,
Yeah.
If you walk in off the street and you're from a country that's been planned out, or a city that's been planned out, I should say, it's like, what the fuck is this?
See, Hobart's pretty small, but
Hobart's
also
just
just a
tiny
grid.
Melbourne. It's a grid.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've got grids, but a lot of one-way streets too. They're getting
Yeah.
less and less, but yeah, the CBD was built around one-way streets, and it's
Yeah.
just so annoying.
yeah.
It's all right when you're 18 and you get your license and you want to go do blockies.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
The way you said that, I assumed as much. Yeah.
I had to stop my blocky career. Like when I was technically a learner, and took I just got a car, little Honda Civic, and I was driving with two other friends, and they both had their car, and we just filled it with friends. Anyway, one of them's like, "Oh, I got access to my mum's works undercover garage, like parking area."
Oh,
And he's like, "Oh, come and I'll
sounds
show you."
terrible.
So we went down there. So I had a friend driving my car. He was a P-plater. But if we found somewhere quiet, he'd always let me jump in as a
Yeah.
learner and drive.
Right.
Because he's on his P's, he can't
Yeah,
legally.
you can't.
He's not allowed to
Yeah.
do that,
Next
but
door
yeah.
learner, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, we went down to this parking garage, and it's literally on the main block in town. But you wouldn't know it's there because it's just this little alleyway and down the ramp. Anyway, what the friend did, he goes down there every week, turns on 2 fire hoses that are down there, comes back about 2 hours later, it's flooded, so it's all wet and slippery, and then he just does like, they play cat and mouse around the big concrete pillars in an underground car park. And so, you know, I've seen Fast and Furious. I got my learners. I know how to do it.
You knew how to do it, I'm sure.
Like 5 minutes in, my back wheel, one of my back wheels is literally, because like imagine a car drifting sideways because I've yanked on the handbrake.
Oh.
But then the back wheel has come around and hit a gutter flush.
Oh, I've seen. Oh.
Like completely parallel.
Yep.
So like my back wheel is pointing
In.
in like a direction it should never be pointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I tried to stop and slammed on the brakes. It's front wheel drive, so I lost steering
So you lost.
and went straight into a pole. So the
Nice.
front's all damaged, the back is damaged.
Wow.
Cool.
There you go. Don't give nerds cars. That's the moral of that
That's
story.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we never
Bit,
let Jamie drive in games.
No, it's pretty much it. Yeah.
Hey, at least if I ditch a car in a game, there's no insurance fraud needed.
You know what? You know what? You're probably wrong about there is when you do it in Mafia, because they're re-releasing the trilogy again.
They are.
They
I've
did
only
Twitter
played
account.
like Mafia
I've only
2.
played 3.
I played 2 and I played a little bit of 1. It was hard as balls, but I sat there and made sure I finished it. 2 was really good and 3 was really good. So
Yeah, I liked 3.
yeah, 3 was awesome. Actually, I found 3 very mechanically easy to play. So yeah, I just
Are they
went.
by this? Is the developer the same? Do they do
I
Max
think-
Payne?
Oh, Remedy? I don't think
No.
so. No.
Okay, that's what 3 reminded me of in how it played a little bit. Max Payne
Yeah,
3.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I always really liked in Mafia 2 how you started out and there's just like this one point where you get arrested and you're like, I just got arrested like any other time. And then, no, you actually go to jail and you
Yeah.
serve jail time. And when you come out, everything has changed. And
Yep.
that sequence of going in, surviving, and coming out of jail was really, really cool. And it's one of those gaming moments that just kind of really stood out to me because I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, no, same. I think, especially because, you are pretty much living that dude's life as much as cinematically, worth it.
As
prison.
much as possible, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a really good turn, and I hadn't done it before.
Did you get to be him in prison?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you had to like fight guys in the shower and stuff. It was
Yeah.
really good.
Excuse me, sir. I'd rather you not place your penis in my rectum. Yeah.
Not today.
I've dropped the soap.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Not
I'm not
today,
gonna show.
sir.
Because 2 was, my understanding is that 3 was is a completely different crime family.
Kind of.
so.
It's.
I think you're an African American guy, whereas
you
the other
are.
one is Italian.
But you've got some links back to 2 and 1 though, because the
I knew
like,
there were some links, but yeah.
the guy from 2 is actually one of the bosses that you have a relationship with in 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And the actual crime family that you're fighting is, I think they're from 2.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little bit of a thing to tie it back to bring that family together, but and it's obviously got like, those kind of particular crime family themes and ties, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
the
I'm pretty
social
sure that's the
media
main one.
account being reactivated suggests, what are we assuming, a 4th?
No, that got reactivated. Just saying, then it just literally said the word family. It was that one tweet, and then a couple days later they confirmed that the trilogy is getting re-released. So
Oh, it's just a re-release of the trilogy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're remastering the
Right.
trilogy, and I think
Seems
that's
to be
it
a lot
for
of that
sound.
going on at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you know how we keep talking about getting a new computer chair? Like one that doesn't squeak?
Yeah.
I went last night I was just in town, so I just thought I'll pop into Officeworks. And not one chair. They got all the demo units, but then they got these massive racks above them where the chairs would usually be all boxed
Oh
up.
gosh.
And they've got 1,000 on back order.
Wow.
Like a literal 1,000 on back order?
1,000 on back order.
It's
in
because everyone
Officeworks.
realised that their dodgy kitchen chair that they usually use at their family PC wasn't cutting the mustard.
Yeah.
Not when they had to work from home,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiss goodbye to webcams, microphones, and chairs, apparently.
Everything that you need to have a functioning home office is suddenly highly sought after.
The really disappointing thing was I sat in a few of the demo chairs because he's like, a few weeks we'll get stock. And every single one of them, like even the, $400 I would consider a fair premium for like a half decent chair.
They shit.
It's just all squeaked already. Like I get
Oh.
that people have sat in them to
Wow.
try them,
Yeah.
but that can't be a lot of use
No.
Yeah.
in the big scheme of things. And it's like, man, really going to have to go to somewhere that actually deals with real office furniture, I think.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Spend probably a fair bit more.
Man, the chair that I'm sitting in it's been in my family for like a fucking decade. It's like starting to go now, but
Yeah.
it's been pretty good. It was like made, like they custom made it, I think. Like we just went, we want a chair like this, and then they would make it and then
Yep.
give it to us. But yeah, you can't go wrong with something like that. Something that's like
Yeah.
high quality. They've really put a lot of care into it.
Admittedly, the
Over
chair I'm
something
in
that's-
is an Officeworks chair.
Yeah,
But it's like a $200 one.
yeah,
And it's actually not too bad. It's just the arms that squeak.
yeah. I've taken the arms off my chairs.
Ergonomically, it's supposed
I
to be
used to-
better for you.
I used to really like them, but like now I do not really like them at all. I prefer having just like the space. I don't know. Also, like if I like roll my chair into my desk, I hate it when the arms like bump on the desk and I go like
So
adjust
mine
them
are
and shit.
just low enough on the setting that I like that they fit underneath.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, chairs, hey.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on
Rest
like a banana gaming chair with speakers and shit in it, so I'm fine. I'm
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at getting... I got one of those race car gaming chairs when I was over in Halifax, and that was okay, but it was also kind of like... I don't know. It didn't feel like a good long-term solution, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're built for long-term comfort
They,
either.
they, they have like that lower lumbar support cushion that people take off, which is such a bad idea because then there's nothing supporting you in the chair.
Yeah. It's such a bad idea in the first place to even have it on there because, like as you say, it's on there, it's strapped on because the seat, the racing design was never meant for long-term sitting at a computer
No,
that
not at all.
required that kind of support. Like, it's built functionally for a completely different purpose.
It's built for a race car.
Yeah, so I get that it looks cool, and even in Officeworks they did have one that looked pretty cool, and it was based on the racing, but it was like someone had actually thought it through, and it was actually much wider.
Yeah.
So like fat thighs like mine could fit in there comfortably, and
Yeah.
there was actual padding on the seat, and like it wasn't a detachable lumbar support; it was just curved like it was a bit of a hybrid.
Oh, okay. That sounds all right.
Yeah, and that was pretty good, and that was about $400, and it didn't squeak when I sat in it. But yeah, like a stock is just
The one that I had was like, it was neat in that it was really weighted at the bottom, so I could like fold out, like lean right back, and there wouldn't be any worry about toppling over.
yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, I'd like one that goes back. This one doesn't go back, and I do miss the
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, being able to just kind of like have a casual rock in your chair from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you. I follow.
But anyway, I don't know. If the remaster looks good, plays well on PC, then I really liked 3. I've heard really good things about the other 2 Mafia games, and, I'd give them a crack.
Yeah,
I like those story-driven games.
Yeah,
If they're anything like 3 in the storytelling, then yeah.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one consistent for the Mafia games for me throughout the whole series, was that it was story based enough, and the story was good enough to keep me just on it. So because I know I hammered those games. I didn't spend. It's weird in a way that like I didn't spend a lot of time in those games, if you know what I mean. I didn't, go back to it week after week and play it a bit more and do some more here and whatever. I just blocked it out and just nailed it.
Smashed it.
Like, yeah.
What was the last game you guys did that on? Well, for Jamie, it's what, Mountain Blade, I'm assuming.
Mountain Blade was definitely the last one that I just went hard on.
I will admit that I'm kind of hard on doing that with Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I am just blasting it in the face because it is just genuinely really good. Especially because now I've gotten used to that, like, slight floaty combat, and then kind of tailored it a bit with my abilities and all that kind of stuff to make it feel better for me. So that's doing it for me story-wise now, especially because that's got, like Mafia, when you find a side mission or quest, it's got a really good self-contained, almost like just episode of the week portion that you can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey's done that for me lately. But in saying that, I think that came out like maybe 2 years ago now. So
well, it's better than mine. I think the last, if we're talking just campaign, like I've crammed some game time into like timed DLC or season pass stuff, but campaign wise, Destiny, the first Destiny.
Yeah.
The first Destiny.
Wow.
The first Destiny was probably the last game that I legitimately sat there, finished in a matter of days. Just committed. Like, I don't know. I love that setting. Still do.
No, that's fair.
I'm a bit burnt out on 2 because we Jamie and I
we pumped out
were
the season
grinding out the
pass.
season pass.
Yeah. That was such a mistake.
Let's be realistic too. I feel like Destiny 1 by the end of it was much more of a solid game than Destiny 2 is now.
Well, what was it? The Taken King, I think, was the turning point for 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, there was a couple DLCs in between that like built it a little bit and added some more, but then the Taken King really did that big overhaul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when 2 came around, they just kind of dumped everything they learnt from 1 and just went, nah, but we did this one. So, you know.
Did you hear how they did that thing with Destiny 2? How they did like these really high difficulty challenges for like the top tier players of the game, and the top tier players went, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
because they didn't get any good loot.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They straight
you gotta
up
have the incentive.
Yeah, they looked at what you had to do. They looked at what you got from a reward, and they straight up just pieced out from what the community's saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but I think they've already nerfed that though. I think they did it this morning. Actually, I read a thing. This morning, maybe late last night, there was a thing that came out that said that Bungie are already nerfing the challenges or requirements involved around this thing. And I'm like, well, at least they're listening, I guess, like listening to their community. So,
or maybe they should have done increase the reward.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like maybe increase the reward. But I do get the feeling from the people that I talk to that have been playing it is that they were just like, unless you live, eat, breathe, and shit this game, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
So-
That's definitely who they were targeting, but I think they miscalculated in that they didn't realize that their entire incentive for people to play the game, the way that it's all set up, is you will go hard and you will get exclusive loot so you can show off.
Yeah.
That really is like the reason to do it. I was the first, so I get a reward.
Man, that's
Yeah.
how I play any MMO.
Yeah.
That's my main motivator for any, like Guild Wars.
Yeah.
Got that legendary.
Well, that's the thing with
Done.
MMOs. Like the issue, I think, is that when you play them, for the only reason you're like doing a quest or doing a thing is like you're not invested in the story. You don't care about the characters. You just
get
want
more
to get a
stuff.
thing. And I don't know how you kind of would tackle that situation and make it so that people are more invested and will do things for reasons other than I really want a new sword.
Well, it's a bit like gambling, isn't it, really? That same addiction to, or not so much addiction, but I need to do this event because there's not a guarantee of what I need, but there is, there's a
I think
chance.
it's just it's a matter of manpower because you look at a single player game or like a large open world RPG game, and even though maybe you are still going for rewards and stuff, you still tend to care about certain characters. And you're following the story, and you want to progress it. Whereas in most MMOs, you don't have that, and a lot of it's because it needs to be this open area where multiple people can play at once, and there needs to be so much to do.
Distances away,
You need to have like X amount of things for people to do so that they never stop playing.
I've never played an MMO or any MMO-like game for the story.
Yeah, like I think the only one that got close to that for me was Final Fantasy XIV.
yeah.
Like that. I did get involved in the story for that game, but only at like certain points. Like every now and then they'd be like, "Oh, help me slay the bugs and whatever," and so you get to that slog, and then you get to like a nicely done cutscene with like the actual storyline of the overarching game. You're like, "Oh, cool, what's happening here?" And then there's like a betrayal at some point. You've been playing the game alongside for like 70 odd hours are dead, and you're like, "No, not that person." And what will happen? And you need to buy the expansion to find out. But there is some kind of story in that. And I think that's the only time I've really kind of cared about any kind of story in an MMO.
Speaking of MMOs, I think this year, because we'll all be living locally, I think this year is the year we bring back the Christmas jumping puzzle in Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2. Is it
think
still
we all
going to be
get
the
together.
same one? Has it just been the same one every year?
It has been every single year.
Oh man, I did actually update my Guild Wars 2 the other day. Yeah, it's still installed on this
Wow.
machine, man. It's still just there. I've jumped on it a couple times in the last million
I'd
years.
be keen to... If you guys wanted to play that, I'd be keen just to revisit and just have a
I
walk
actually
around.
think I still have my copy installed.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
that was kind of almost my thing. Was just like I don't even know what there is to do anymore, but I'd almost just like to visit the world again for a bit. Just go and
It is a good game. My only bugbear was that it was DirectX 9, and even
Yeah,
at
it
the time
still
of
is.
launch,
Yeah.
there was, I think that was up to DX 11, definitely
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
it still
definitely
runs
10.
like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It definitely had those issues where it would just go, oh, you know what?
Slideshow mode.
And
Yeah. Oh, you're with more than 5 people? Enjoy this slideshow.
Yeah. I think Phantasy Star Online is actually releasing on PC
that better
at the end of this
run
month.
amazingly on everything known to man. That better run amazing on a calculator like that. Like
Well,
best-
the Japanese version that I was playing on the PC certainly did.
Mm.
So if it doesn't, I will be shocked. And in fact, I am shocked at how poorly it runs on the Xbox.
Mm.
It's got no excuse. That thing runs on a Vita. How is it running like shit on an Xbox?
yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know
Like
why that
I
is.
think they
haven't
only
looked at it.
just announced that they weren't going to have Vita support for that thing.
Yeah,
So it
they
was
did.
still running on Vitas.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I don't understand.
There are not a lot of MMOs on the horizon. None that have kind of piqued my interest anyway.
I,
it's a
I'd
bit-
love to play a
the
good one
era-
again.
I want to
The era
play.
just seems to be coming to a close.
I would like to play a good one. The unfortunate thing is that I've played too many bad ones. So if I'm going to even touch an MMO, I kind of need other people to already be into it. that
Yeah.
I'm
Honestly,
actually going to play
absolutely.
because otherwise
I would-
I'm not in.
I would flat out love it if we all just played Final Fantasy 14. Like that is a good MMO.
I own that, so I'd be keen to give it a try. I didn't give it enough of a chance when I first played it.
That's
Yeah.
still subscription based, isn't it? Though
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's always been my blockage. Right, like I kind of look at it and I go subscription, and then I just kind of don't.
Like,
So-
yes, there is a subscription for it. However, there's no bullshit. There's no shitty microtransactions. There's no trying to funnel you in to
Well, they're
work
getting
on
their
the game
income
for-
from the subs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the game is actually like refreshingly straightforward. If you want an object that like they release a really cool weapon, you got to earn it, and then you feel good for having it instead of going like, oh wow, a cool thing, I'll buy that for $8 or whatever, and it's just nothing. You know, there's no emotional attachment to it. You're just like, oh wow, I've got a cape. I was fighting my guild and I. We did like this raid on. I can't remember who it was, but we fought this huge monster. There was this rad soundtrack. Everyone had to know their position and be like, you know, really careful what they were doing. And when we killed it, like I got a horse. Like I got this mount, and it's like this horse made out of water. And it was really, really rad. And whenever I mounted the horse, it would like actually play the music from the boss fight when I was
nice.
like galloping along. And like, this is fucking dope. And I've never had anything cool like that from Guild Wars. I think one time I got a chest that gave me some ascended gear.
Dude, that was within, like, I think the first, 20, 30 hours of playing?
Yeah, it's the one time anything
yeah.
really good happened to me in that game, and that's it. I don't care about anything else in there,
That
really.
said, Guild Wars, I've got a lot of fond memories, though,
Yeah.
of
Sure.
us playing Guild Wars.
Especially when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
added in like
absolutely.
the raids and stuff like that. That was
I never dabbled in the raids.
Yeah.
Everyone, I don't know, there seems to be two camps. Those that will learn it quickly, proficiently, as soon as it's out.
Yeah.
And then when you go to looking for group, they're the ones that say, you have to be experienced. You have to know what you're doing.
You have to know what you're doing. You have to know everything already without actually trying.
And then there's the other group that that want to try it, but just can't. There's that the barrier of entry is just
Yeah.
too...
It's massive.
Like, Jamie and I got in once, but Jamie was pretty drunk and just made friends with two Americans.
Wow.
And I think that was the first and last time I tried it, but
Yeah.
Did we win that? I think you kept dying, right?
I sucked at it, yeah.
It was interesting.
no.
I was like hammered out of my brain, and I was surprisingly competent.
See, I
Yeah,
know
no,
I
I
got carried
sucked.
through a couple with like my big guardian tank character. They were just like, look, just hit things and heal yourself in this place. Just go to this place and heal
Yeah.
yourself. Go to this place and heal yourself. And that was all I did. I just stood there
Like, there's
being
plenty
tanked.
to do in Guild Wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's shitloads to
Like,
do. Well, that's what kept me going.
Jamie and I
back
did
to
the
it for so long.
PvP, and correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but we had some fun in that. I think that was
We
pretty
did.
cool.
We did have some fun in that. Yeah.
I think the pinnacle for me when the PvE stuff. I like Fractals of the Mist, so like mini dungeons.
Oh yeah, they added the mini dungeons. Yeah, they were nice.
Yeah, the actual dungeons got completely nerfed by way of reward. They used to
Yeah,
give
they
you an
used to.
extra gold for the first day completion for the
Yeah,
first time that
completion
day.
that
and all this stuff.
day. Yep.
So that kind of I lost all interest in that
Mm.
dungeon aspect.
Yeah.
Plus, I made you guys run Twilight of the Arbor, I think it was, with me
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
the armor.
Yeah.
A million times. Yeah.
Like 1,000 times to get the
Yeah.
currency for the armor. So
See, they were such a grind, right? And yet, like in Final Fantasy, it's like if you don't need to grind out stuff like that. There is still
Yeah.
grinding, as like there is in all MMOs, but it's more just like you killed the monster. One of you will get a really nice reward at least, you
Yeah.
know. And it's just I don't know. It's a fun game. You get to a certain point later on where like you get mounts that can fly, and it's been a long time since I played it, but I'd be happy to go back.
we
and,
should
like,
we
even
should
if-
look. We should look at our options and see
Yeah,
if
like,
we can all get
even
into
if
an
you just-
MMO.
Yeah, even if you just like buy like a 1 month voucher, so you don't have to worry about like re-upping your subscription or whatever, and just give it a month and try it out. Like I'd be down for that.
You
I
said,
wanted
like,
to love
yeah.
the Star Wars MMO.
Man, I played the shit out of that, but then I had no one to play it with after a while. And it was just nah. So
I
yeah,
was
fell
enjoying
over.
it, but I made the mistake of playing it with Sam, I think.
Yeah.
And Sam tends to get very fixated, so he liked it, played it non-stop, got to level cap. There was at the time really nothing to do at level cap, and he quit. And then I was like only half his level and no one else to play with. And obviously an MMO with no one to play with is
it's
my issue with Star Wars was I was playing it for a while and my computer was really shit at the time, and so it was very chuggy. And then I was a student, so I didn't have the money for the fee to continue subscribing to it. Then it went free to play, and so I went back to it, and they changed like everything about the character that I was playing, how the skills were done, how everything worked, and so I just was lost. And
what's it called?
I don't know. There was just something that you could tell that you had like these little filters in of like the free to play grind, the free to play get your shit, like pay for this shit so that you can play the game properly again, you know?
Yeah, basically.
And so like again, I would prefer to have a subscription to an MMO than playing a free to play one, if I'm being honest, because like at the end of the day, it's just so much more quality of life stuff is in that pay to play game instead of like having to deal with them trying to huck their wares on you no matter where you go, limiting your inventory space, so you got to buy inventory bags and shit like that. You know, all those little things that you're like, why do this? And it's just to squeeze money out of you.
Sorry, I'm just, before I forget, there was an MMO that I really, really liked, and I was the only one playing it, but it was so good, it kept me in for a while.
Describe it to me.
Oh, man, it's, I think it was based around monsters in...
are you thinking of The Secret World?
The Secret World, yes.
Right.
I've never even heard of that.
That was really fun. I actually really enjoyed that.
I think I downloaded that at one point. I know that they did like a Secret World Reborn, or remade or whatever. They remastered it.
I also played Age of Conan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
Man, Age of Conan. The only thing I even remember about that was I think the old, what was it, GFW podcast guys talking about going into like a roleplay server maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like sex slaves and demons and all this other kind of stuff, and lords and everything. And I was just like, that sounds like a hard pass. So I never went near that ever.
I think I played is it Terra?
Yeah, Terra Online. Yeah.
Terra? Yeah.
I played a bit of Terra, I think.
You guys ever played RuneScape?
Did I? No, I didn't. No, I didn't actually.
Lauren plays RuneScape.
No, I didn't play Terra. I played Black Desert Online.
That looks so pretty, but apparently it's really grindy.
Oh yeah, it's grindy as shit.
Grindy.
Like it is insanely grindy. That is what the game is. It is a grind. It's got like a nice system, but it doesn't mean you want to sit there for 6 hours doing the same thing.
Like the issue I have with like Black Desert Online is it's basically what I've been saying. It's like your mechanics are kind of cool. The combat is interesting, but there's no stake to anything.
Yeah.
There's no... Like, we played it, Nick, for probably about 2 weeks, and then I was just done. Like, I just...
Yeah, I just didn't
go
back to it.
Running out and doing the same combo.
Yeah, I can't actually remember why I didn't go back. I think I just didn't pick it up again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it wore out its welcome pretty quickly, unfortunately. But...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should definitely have a look at an MMO.
Yeah.
And who knows, if we want to get a guild
is...
going and get people in on it.
My vote is definitely on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I own it, but this,
Yeah,
we'll have a look.
I think that's like, I've always kind of considered that, and every time you bring it up, and I go, then I'd have to buy it and then subscribe to it.
Actually, Nick, I'm pretty sure I have a copy of
it
to gift to friends.
I could just never convince myself that it was a good idea.
I'm pretty sure I have a base copy that I can give you.
Because I think that was also the thing too. I was like, I'd be trying it, and I'm like, but I'd have to buy it to try it. Nah.
That has to be a pretty rare combo nowadays, actually, to buy a game and have a sub.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's a reason why it's still running.
Yeah.
They when they first made the game, it was shithouse, and they closed it and fixed it, and wow, did they fix it.
Yeah.
They got a French guy to fix it?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Elevator, you must fix this. Or maybe they got rid of the French guy. I can't remember.
There
was a French guy involved. I remember someone making a lot of fun of him. Yeah.
I do not know what you're talking about. I know that the guy who fixed it was Japanese for sure.
We still need to play Siege. Sorry, I just remembered.
But yeah. It was just it was a mess. And
all
then
of-
this guy went, "This is what you need to do to fix it." And they went, "Okay, go."
All of this needs to happen before Cyberpunk comes out, because once that comes out, I just know I'm gonna commit a lot of time to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they did. So we're looking at we spoke about the ratings a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But keen-eyed viewers saw that the ESRB rating mentions in-game purchases, so people got really freaked out about the possibility of microtransactions.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about with the MMOs, and I think it does. I think you're right, Jamie. I think I was having a discussion with Stephen ages ago, and he preferred MMOs that had a subscription because there was a demand from the user base or an expectation that the quality of the content
the quality
was
would be
higher.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not trying to nickel and dime you. They just go like, "We are providing a service.
Yeah.
Here you go." And it like just over the years, like I have, because I used to be like, "Oh yeah, it's free. I can play it. That's great. I just won't spend any money. No worries." But over the course of time, I'm really realizing that you're not just paying to keep the servers running. You're paying for continued development and for people to make content that's fun. Whereas in a free-to-play MMO, you're paying to play the
Keep
game.
the lights on.
But it's like you're paying so that the game isn't frustrating. You're playing for quality of life stuff that should be there from the get-go. And it's such a huge difference when you come from playing like a game like Guild Wars and then you move into playing Final Fantasy and you're going like, "Oh, they just give me this shit? Oh, I can just have one character who can use any job he wants, any skill he wants, and they all level separately on that one character. I don't need to do like alts and shit like that, and I just have like a ton of like bags and stuff to carry things in, and I just am given mounts for doing stuff, and I'm given cool weapons for doing things, and like crafting is like way less of a pain in the ass."
Oh, Guild Wars crafting was horrendous.
The crafting in Final Fantasy is so good, and there's player
I'm sorry, you say
housing.
the crafting in Guild Wars is horrendous. So you say the crafting in Final Fantasy was good. I hear the word crafting and I zone out immediately. I don't give a fuck what game it is. I hate it. With a
I
fucking
only ever
fiery
use
passion.
crafting to
I'll
level
fucking-
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's just
hate
you
it
can
every
just
time
be a
it comes
blacksmith and make yourself viable armor, viable weapons. You get a guy in your... There was a dude in our party who was a jeweler, and so I was like coming up in the ranks, and in my guild, and I was kind of coming up, and he's going like, "Oh, here you go," and he just like forged me like this really nice ring that I wore for ages. It was just... It's cool because people can support each other.
The fact that you can craft something that's useful
Yeah.
is already 10 times better than any MMO crafting experience I've had.
Yeah.
That would be actually quite nice because, like I said, in Guild Wars, for instance, easily my most played MMO, literally only ever crafted because of the XP you could get from 0 to 80, which was level cap at the time.
Yeah.
By crafting and upping your experience
because you
in
found
different-
like that guide, didn't you, to just be able to...
Yeah, it was a guide that
Yeah.
tell you exactly what materials to buy, exactly what to make, in what order, and give it an hour, and it was pretty tedious, but you'd have a level 80 character.
Yeah, you went straight to level cap. I'm pretty sure I did that twice. Just because
Yeah.
I was like, because like I don't know, I'm a moron. I like making alts. I like going, no, I want this character to be totally fucking like just a little different.
You're like Steven, just makes like a dozen level 10 characters.
I think I've got like 5, and I think 4 of them are at 80. So it's like, but yeah, I'm pretty sure
That's
two
not
of them.
too bad, yeah.
2 of them, I'm pretty sure I sat there and
Craft
crafted up. But I know that 3 of them are level 80 because I sat there and just did the story.
That's right. Yeah, you guys did play the story a fair bit in Guild Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah, we cranked it out.
I cranked
Yeah.
that hard. But yeah, I know that. A couple of them are level 80 because of that. But now, like Guild Wars did that weird thing though, where it wanted you to grind more because it stopped you being able to just like find groups and do the story. Now the story missions aren't even accessible to you until you get to the level for it. So that is actually why the latest character I made, I think, is only like level 26 or something. Because I was like, but I could just go and do this. It's right there.
Yeah,
I know it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just back to my Cyberpunk comment, the CD Projekt Red did clarify that they had to put in-game purchases, quote unquote, in the like it had to be listed as far as the rating system is concerned.
Yeah.
Because if any game includes future DLC, it's now a requirement to classify it as an in-game purchase.
I was thinking like their DLC stuff is going to be like how they did it with The Witcher.
Yeah, no,
they're
going to have
still count as like purchases.
I am 100% they are going to like that. Basically means they're going to have more legitimate expansions like they did with The Witcher 3. So,
oh man, I'm so pumped for this game.
I am
the first time I've been excited for a game.
I'm going to tentatively
in a long time.
I'm going to tentatively chuck out there that I'm worried about it. Because the Australian rating board finally had its go. Or is having its go, and in their preliminary findings, they what was it?
I thought they already gave it an R.
Nah, well they
did.
They did, but then they actually added something the other day, which was mutilating corpses. So
instantly banned in Germany. Then
yeah,
I know Germans don't like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm like,
which I don't know if it's
I don't like it. I don't like it whenever, especially our ratings board adds another thing. Because whenever they add another thing, that means that fucking Joyce, the 64-year-old that spent the 2 hours online to get our censorship board certification, has gone, wait a minute, I'm going to write a letter. And they've shot off an email, and then they've had to worry about it. So that
they can
immediately...
do whatever they want. I will get that game no matter what.
Yeah, no,
doesn't matter if they ban it.
Shit,
VPN, yeah. Even if I have to be connected with VPN while I'm playing, like if it does online checks,
I don't think it does online checks. It is CD Projekt.
I was going to say, GOG is saying it's DRM free because I did actually see someone post their thing the other day saying they specifically they got an email when they pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077, like a little splash screen thing that was specifically, thanks so much for pre-ordering your DRM free GOG version of Cyberpunk 2077, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that. That's fine.
That's obviously, as a business model, that's obviously not hurting the bottom dollar.
Absolutely not.
Too much.
No, because they're getting good faith, and so they're having loyal customers go, I want to buy from GOG because they support the stuff that I want to see.
They're undoubtedly very pirated games though.
Well,
because like if you look at Pirate Bay, which I'm just doing now, because out of curiosity. GOG games are the most seeded, so they're the most downloaded. But it's even obviously not on a scale that is affecting their ability to crank out good material.
Because even though those games are easy to pirate because they're DRM free, it doesn't mean that other games aren't. You can still get like games that are cracked from Steam or from anywhere.
Oh,
so if someone wanted to pirate the game, they would.
They will, yeah.
And so
I wouldn't do that with Steam. Like, Steam have a very zero tolerance approach.
I'm more thinking like pirating a game that's on Steam, not like adding it to your Steam thing. Like,
it doesn't get added to your Steam. It just cracks it so that it goes past the verification.
Yeah, it just runs past.
It doesn't add it to your library or anything like that. So the thing is, like, there are ways around these always on DRM things, and GOG have just gone, well, if people want to pirate it, they'll pirate it. So instead of punishing the people who don't pirate it, let's reward them, not make them jump through hoops, put some like horrible, intrusive Denuvo shit on their computer. They can just play the game.
Give us kernel level access.
Oh, Doom Eternal just did that. They added kernel level access anti-cheat to their multiplayer.
Oh, wow.
So, guess I gotta uninstall that shit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's...
Did you finish it?
Oh, that's nasty.
Decent sized campaign, apparently.
Yeah, it's a good game, but Bethesda keep fucking things.
They really,
Bethesda.
They're getting good at that, aren't they?
They seem to.
They're only skill.
They seem to be consistently like just just they look at what they're doing, and then they look at what they've done before, and then they reconsider what they're doing and decide, how can we make this end badly? And I don't know if that's just how their business model works now, but that just seems to be their thing. It's like, let's make bad decisions the business.
it's
The B in
the
Bethesda
mission
stands
statement.
for bad.
But as it turns out, I think I don't know. I do keep hearing that Fallout 76 is what it should have been on launch now, but I am still not even
So
touching,
mediocre instead of completely
I'm
awful.
still not even touching that with my eyeballs, and that can just.
I've only seen a couple of games make that turnaround. They
Yeah,
can
there's only a
legitimately
couple.
make that claim.
Yeah.
Like Division 1.6. Patch
Yeah,
Division
Division-
1.6 was
Division did that.
legitimate good turning point.
Yeah.
Destiny was
Destiny
Taken King.
I'm
That
yawning.
was good.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch Bethesda have to support a game that they've released post-release.
Oh, is it?
Because they don't do that. Like, well, yeah, like you think about it, every
it's out in the
cool
wild,
thing that
it's
ever
done,
happened in Skyrim, it was fans
Yeah.
like fixing their shit,
Yeah.
adding cool stuff, and suddenly they've got this online always thing, and they're going like, fuck, we actually have to make it better than it is. I'm not going to say good, better than it is.
Let's
And-
polish this turd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I bet when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, we won't see this kind of like,
Well, they.
we perhaps
Years
we
away,
fucked up.
apparently.
we
Yeah,
need to
they,
fix
they
it.
actually, I think,
Yeah.
literally this week said that any news about that even happening is years away. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's less of a polished decision and more of a, you don't understand how much money we're making from Elder Scrolls Online decision. So.
Or there is PS5 and Xbox One, whatever the new one is, have been confirmed. So there's 2 new platforms to release
Yeah.
Skyrim on.
they've already,
Shut up.
yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, you went there. Shit, they probably will. Oh, I guarantee.
Tell me
you've
that
said
it's not gonna happen.
The more I'm. Oh, I didn't even think about it, and now
By
you've
then
made
they'll
me
call it
think about
remastered or HD or something
Remastered
crap
back
like that.
with a vengeance. I'm not here to crucify.
And it will be released.
Yeah.
Remember when they released the remastered version on the Switch and it still had bugs that were in
bugs
like the
from the
day
day
one
one.
version of the Xbox
Yeah,
version?
man.
Fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. Bet you any money it's going to be on PS5 and Xbox. Not as backwards compatible,
No, it'll be a
but
new
actually
version.
launched.
I can't believe you brought this thought into my world.
It's going to
What's
happen.
worse is people will buy it.
Yeah.
They'll actually
Oh,
do
they
it.
will. They will.
It's a cash cow, and they're milking it for all it's worth.
See, I'm like,
Speaking of,
I'm looking at grabbing, what was it, Deadly Premonition Origins on the Switch.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
like, that's a bit different. That's a game that I'm worried is going to die and disappear and no one's going to remember it. So, you know.
Yeah. We got Deadly Premonition 2 on the way as
Yeah.
well.
you totally ruined my segue.
I think I did, yeah. I was already...
Seg it up, buddy.
I was going to say, speaking of polished, I don't remember anymore.
Speaking of remakes,
What were you
as it were,
segueing to?
you were going
No,
to
I
bring
was
up
going to talk
Tony
about
Hawk.
Tony
Yeah.
Hawk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's...
Man, some great childhood memories playing that, and I still have Goldfinger Superman on my Spotify playlist.
yeah.
Yeah, I've still got it on my...
Well, their playlist's looking
MP3
really
player.
good. They've got, I think, most of the music back, don't they? I think...
Yeah, I think it's all
Yeah,
original
because
soundtrack.
they released the literally just a track list after they found out just how much traction it was getting and how many people were pumped specifically to listen to that music.
Oh yeah,
So
Do you reckon they're going to have Eurobadge on there again?
yeah, well, it's whatever was in 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure is on the table.
Because, wow, that was
So-
racist.
well, maybe not. Yeah, but whatever was
man.
in 1 and 2 on there.
I watched an interview with Tony Hawk a while ago where he was very open about how much money he made
Yeah,
from Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like
right.
he made like easy 6 figures off
Yeah, I
just
reckon.
Yeah.
just
It
1
was
and
a-
2. I think by that
It was a
point.
phenomenon.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah.
It-
Like I don't know much about the skate world, but
Well, there's half pipes.
it's well that's the thing. He's a big ramp skater.
He hangs
He's
out.
not a
Yeah, I
street
know.
skater or anything, and
Yeah.
apparently that's completely different. Like I don't know. subculture almost.
I saw a video where like they built a giant cylinder, and like that was it was a vertical cylinder, and he was like, I'm gonna go up this ramp and then go at the top of the cylinder and then just loop down to the bottom of the cylinder. And it was just a montage of him fucking eating
it while he did that.
Before he finally did it. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I got it now. And he just went and did it a couple more times. It's like, geez.
Wow.
My only exposure to skateboarding really has been the Pro Skater games.
Yeah.
And Jackass, because most of those guys come from a skateboard background.
I was going to say Bam Margera.
Not afraid to get hurt.
Like, it's...
Oh, and Tony Hawk is like friends with all of them, so he's usually in a Jackass bit.
Yeah.
Tony
See,
Hawk.
he's also friends with Jack Black now, so I've got to pay some respect to them.
Yeah, did you see they were playing it? I think the remaster, and he pulled his iconic 960 or whatever it is.
The 900?
I don't know what it is. It's something 900 something, 980 or something.
Don't know.
He spins around in
He
the
spins a lot,
He
yeah.
spins.
Yeah. I'm completely showing my ignorance to skateboarding, but
Well, there's a move called the fishbone.
the shove it, the
Pop
kick
shove
flip,
it.
the ollie,
You
pop
can
shove it.
grind.
Yeah. There's all these things. We're talking about an aspect of life that we are clearly masters
As you can
of.
tell, we are experts.
Yeah.
I really liked in I think it was Tony Hawk 1 where there was real life footage that you could
That was
unlock.
all of them, man. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got skate videos.
You could unlock skate. You
Yeah,
do career
yeah.
mode with a skater, and then at the end of it, you get like a big highlight reel for them. I think in some of them.
I always
Remember
liked
how,
that.
like,
I
in
liked
every
watching that.
mission or every level, you had to, within 2 minutes or whatever, collect letters that would spell out in the end the word skate?
Yeah.
That was Tony Hawk.
I did. I didn't play a lot of 1 and 2. I played a ton of 3, but because 3 was just like you would sit there and you could customize your character like fully. It had like wrestling game level customization for your character.
Did it? In 3?
Yeah. And I would sit there, and I remember doing it one day. I would start a character, I would go into career mode, and I pretty much had it down to the point where I would go into a level for the career mode. I could do every objective you needed to do to unlock the next thing in that 1 5-minute run. And I had that for every single skate park that came on there.
Oh,
So-
I just realized, you know what's probably not going to be in these Tony Hawk remastered
What's
games? Unlockable Spider-Man,
Oh,
unlockable
yeah.
Wolverine, unlockable Darth
I
Vader.
forgot about that stuff.
If they've already paid the royalties to use that in the original, and this is just a remaster.
Not in the remake.
No,
Nah,
you don't reckon?
No, it's.
I
I've
doubt
seen.
it.
I've seen it fall over with the music before, so it's not going to surprise me if content's. Yeah, gonna have that unfortunately as well.
I highly doubt that they still have like the contracts that will allow them to re-release the game as a new product with these iconic characters in them who, like, in some cases don't even belong to the original rights holders that they got them from anymore, you know?
Yeah.
They might be able to. I guess, like, it's all Disney now, and they did have, like, Star Wars characters in there at one point. But I think that was more like a cross-promotion because Activision
Well, it
was
was Activision,
publishing
yeah.
Star Wars and X-Men games.
Yeah,
at the
Activision did
time.
that Spider-Man game and some other bits and pieces, so they.
Who's
Neversoft,
the
yeah.
who's the dev or the
Neversoft.
publisher?
It was,
of it? Oh,
it was Neversoft.
That's probably them.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah,
they
Neversoft.
one with the eyeball?
Yeah.
The,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
eyeball
yeah,
with the slithery bit and the. Yeah.
yeah.
It was kind
Are they still around?
Yeah.
They do Call of Duty
Yeah.
maps.
Wow.
Yeah, how much does that
How the
hurt?
mighty have fallen.
Yeah, that hurts.
They're just like Raven. Everything that
Ugh.
was like assimilated by Activision eventually got repurposed for
Call of
making
Duty
Call of
maps.
Duty DLC.
Yeah.
Fuck Call of Duty.
Oh, it just hurts, man, because you look at these things that they made and you're like, I remember you're so good, what are you doing now? And you do a bit of a look and you're like, oh, you did, one map for a DLC in this version of this. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do you think Call of Duty and games on a yearly cycle like it are the death of creativity to a certain
Yes,
degree?
fully, yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, I get that it's a capitalist, like it's a money making machine. I understand it from a business perspective, but the art form, like you look at COD 1, 2, for their time they were revolutionary,
And they took years to
undoubtedly
make as well. Like, they weren't,
Yeah.
pumped out in 6 to 8 months. Like,
Yeah, but once you start churning out games on a regular cycle and recycling stories, assets,
Well,
maps.
that was one of my biggest
The
problems.
saddest
I
part
think.
is the creativity.
Yeah.
Just
that
the artistry.
it was one of the reasons why I just fell out of it eventually, because I don't mind the Call of Duty. The games, like you look at the two lines, there's like Treyarch and someone else that make them. I can't remember who the other dev is. But those two games feel mechanically to play slightly different, ever so slightly different, and you find that too because when you look at the communities around them, they have those two different camps of like, I'm this guy or I'm this guy, and that's like, okay, cool. So you got that. So technically, it's a 2-year dev cycle for each of these kinds of games. That's pretending that you've got a bit more oomph. Like, okay, let's go with that. But when you play, when you play one, and you play one of the Black Ops line that Treyarch make, and you play that, and then the next, whenever the next Black Ops comes out, you play that, and you have that moment where you're like, I've seen every fucking asset in this room, and the gameplay still feels the same.
Yeah.
It's just like no one did anything here. I get the people who work into it. I get that. I understand that. It's still work to put this stuff together, but I'm not going to pretend that it's moving anything forward or bringing anything new to me creatively.
Well, the renewed focus on multiplayer only is very apparent now. Like between Warzone and what was it? Black Ops 4 was multiplayer only.
Which got rid of the campaigns
you,
for that before that were co-op, and it was rad. I actually that's the only reason I played. I think it was Infinite Warfare, because it had the full campaign co-op. So I was like, oh wow, you got me back in because you brought in something I liked. And then they just shot it in the ass.
Honestly, like the way that we see all the Call of Duties, kind of like they keep doing a new one every year. It's to me, it's the same as if it were going, all right, there's going to be a new Quake 3 every year. And it's just going to be... It's still just called Quake 3. It's just Quake 3 Remastered, Quake 3 Redux, Quake 3 Blops. Like, it's just...
Quake
it's
3
so
Online.
transparent. Yeah, and
I wonder if
it's
that's
just,
a thing still.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It used to be, but it's gone now.
Is it?
Oh, it's gone now?
Yeah, the Quake 3 Online was the free-to-play browser-based.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I remember you. Yeah,
Champions.
you got me into that for a couple of matches.
Yeah, no, that went away.
Oh,
That was after John Carmack departed.
I do like. Oh, that was the one I was gonna talk to you guys about. For Honor.
Yeah.
Is that cross-platform?
No.
No.
It's really good now. Like they did a lot of work.
I hear good things. Jamie and I played was it the beta? I think we played.
Yeah, we played it right at the start.
Yeah, and it was. I saw a lot of potential.
The game itself, when it like that was also always my thing. The game itself had co-op for the story, and so you'd play that, and you get the feel of a bunch of different characters, and you could hang out with someone playing it. So it was good. It was fun. It was great, and like I loved it. It was amazing. And then I jumped into multiplayer, and all the things that I loved about playing the single player were ruined by the horrific netcode that they'd implemented into their multiplayer. But then they started actually consistently doing work on their multiplayer code. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And there was actually this weird like hills and valleys thing going on where they'd do something to it and you were like, nice, you've done it. And then there'd be another update, and it's like, wow, you broke it.
You made it worse.
And
so you're saying you're in an abusive relationship with
pretty
For
much.
Honor.
And that's why it's one of my most like reinstalled games that I've ever had. Because it'll get a patch, I'll hear it's good, I'll jump in, I'll play it, and then it'll get another patch and it'll be busted as shit. So I think at the moment though, I think for the last couple they've been on an uptick. I think they've gotten to the point where they've actually like done it and made it work.
I think at the end of it all, the thing that really kind of bugged me about For Honor is the way that they were going, oh, we're going to add new characters and with new movesets and things like this. And
stuff,
and it was like, I can't tell if they're trying to be... They're kind of trying to be like a fighting game and also like a simulation, like a war simulation game. And
it's a lot more a MOBA.
I feel like that there's too many spinning plates. And like, it would be one thing if character was equal, and so when you meet on the field, it is just a test of skill. But then you throw in like counter-picking characters, and like, I don't know, it just kind of, it really bugged me how we were kind of going to like a this weird sort of pick this guy. Oh, he's going to be bad against this
meta.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
You're not a fan of meta, are you? I've noticed.
Not really, no.
Yeah. It does take certain freedoms away
I-
if you want to play to win.
I will admit that while I will say that the meta was there in For Honor, like during my periods playing it, I never really focus on it, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll know it, and I'll see something about there being a guy there, but I'll still just run in with a berserker and try to hit stuff. So it's
That's like me
yeah.
in Siege. I know there's
there would
I
also
know there's
be. Sorry, Josh. What?
I was just saying that Siege, I think, is a good example for me, where I'm pretty sure there's a meta. Like in ranked, I
to a
noticed
degree,
there's
yeah.
consistent bans and like bans and picks and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or certain combos that work well. I don't know. I just pick who I like and then shoot
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Another thing in For Honor, which hopefully has been fixed at this point, but back in the day, there were moves, like just certain moves that certain characters had that you could loop seamlessly and stun lock other people, and it just became frustrating. And it's like, how did nobody think
Oh, yeah.
that the skill where the guy like knees the dude in the face and he's stunned, and then he breaks into another stun, and then into another, and you're just perma-stunned. Who thought that was a good idea at Ubisoft? And like, those are the types of things where
You're
like,
acting like someone thought about it. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it plays like people didn't think about it. And they kind of went, oh, it'll be funny if every now and then they do this attack and it stuns them, and that'll be fun and you'll feel cool, and there'll be no cooldown on it, and it's easily exploitable. Let's go. What could go wrong? And it was just like that Viking guy. I remember him just like getting my guy in a corner, and I just couldn't do anything to get out of it.
yeah.
And then I switched to him, and I'm like, oh, this is what I play to win, because I'm just kneeing people in the head and winning every time.
I will admit that I feel like the game was hoping for more of a... It's really weird. Like, it feels like initially in the plan, they're like, when we make this multiplayer portion of it, there's going to be 4 of you hanging around. And it's almost like they were hoping you'd bust off in a squads of 2. Pretty consistently. But that's not really how the game ended up getting played. Like, to be fair, teamwork in that game is fairly important. If you use it, you can do super good winning things.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I just feel like they tried to push it in that kind of off direction, but people just had a bit too much fun with the like, this is the splendor of it, if you know what I mean. Like, no, I want to go do spinny backflips and kill 2 guys by myself because that's rad. So,
Right.
Speaking of rad,
Yes.
because we need to move on. Sorry, just looking at the time. But I am curious because I'm assuming Jamie's put this on the list. RoboCop.
Oh yeah, dude.
Being
So
voiced by
just
Peter
a quick
Weller.
thing. Yeah. So the RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11, I didn't realize it at first because like the filtering they've got is different from the movie, but it's the original RoboCop reprising his role, and that's really cool.
Right. I wondered
That's
what
it.
the context was,
Yep.
but okay, because again, we talked about that last
Yep.
week, didn't we? I think
Yeah.
Okay, but he's actually being
And
voiced by
and
Peter
again,
Weller.
it's just such a shame that I don't really like Mortal Kombat, and I don't want to pay the money for that DLC.
yeah, that's
But
fair.
really cool looking RoboCop.
well, that was like my update to that conversation last week. Actually, is that while I had the version that had the season stuff, it was season whatever, so I don't think it includes this stuff now.
doesn't.
So yeah,
No, you got to pay. It's an
Yeah.
expansion. An expansion. Yeah.
We've also got, so I think we'll just cut there. I'd still like to talk about. What do you guys? Do you want to keep going and have a super long one, or
wait. Do we need to, before we forget, announce the winner of the competition?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the tech demo,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I could probably bounce a few things off Dave in particular with that. So maybe
All right, we'll
Shove
save
that.
that
Say
for
that
next
for
time.
next week,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to the winner of the $50 prize that you have offered generously to one winner.
yes, we Neon City Daily are offering a $50 giveaway for your platform of choice. So it will be a gift voucher, and it's to celebrate 10 episodes.
that Josh can count really well with.
Which,
We're
yes.
celebrating last episode. It was
Yeah,
great. It was a good
yeah.
episode.
So technically, okay. So the concept for this did arise when I realised, oh, this what you're listening to right now will be the 10th episode. I was wrong. We've already recorded the 10th episode. It's even been delayed.
Yeah.
So you'll probably listen to that just before this.
one.
Why is the 10th being delayed?
Technical reasons.
You just haven't done it, huh?
No, I have.
Wow.
No, seriously. There were a lot
Way to
of
just
sync issues in that for some reason.
dump Josh.
A lot of sync
Okay.
issues. Something went
lot of
really wrong.
Dump Josh under the
Oh,
bus.
really?
Yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So anyway, through no fault of my own, apologies that episode 10 has been delayed, but this is episode 11, and we're going to announce the winner. So we had quite a good response. Thank you for everyone that entered and liked and followed. I have all of you names or Twitter handles, etc., in the random name picker. So I'm going to click it right now, and the winner is at AWEM321.
Congratulations. Drum roll.
AWAM. You did it. You did it, AWAM.
AWEM321. So I will be in touch with you via Twitter, and we'll figure out your region, and we will chuck you a $50 voucher for your platform of choice.
Yeah.
And that's it for me.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. Well, guys, this has been fun. Let's play some Age of Empires or something.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Talk to you later, guys. Thanks for listening to the Neon City
my
Daily
gosh.
Podcast. This has been Jamie and Nick and Josh, and back to you at the studio, over and out.
Dun, dun, dun,
You like
dun.
No.
You
No,
loved that.
I didn't.
It was your favorite, I can tell. Bye, guys.